Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is the first video of mine that you have clicked on. If so, please feel free to hit the subscribe button down below to watch some more of my videos. So today is a little bit different. Usually the videos that I upload are unboxings. Today is a tattoo tour. Now most people who know me don't actually always know that I have tattoos. Most of mine are covered. So the first tattoo that I ever got was on my left side, and I will be putting in a clip. So I got this tattoo in the spring of 2015. As you can see, it is not colored in, it is just the line work, and there is a reason for this. When I went to get the tattoo, it was my first tattoo. I sort of had a, go big or go home mentality. I just sort of, jumped into the whole idea of getting a tattoo, and I didn't fully do my research. And by the time everything was done, it only took about 3.5 hours. I got charged over $600 just for the line work. And it wasn't until after I started talking with my friends about it that I realized I had gotten massively overcharged, and then was told that they wanted to charge me a further $800 to do the color. So if you see in the clip, this is not a over $1,000 tattoo. So I never went back to get the color. Now pain-wise, I would say, it is on the side, it's on your rib cage, which is a pretty painful spot. So I would say it was probably about a 6 or 7 out of 10 for the most part. And then that final 45 minutes was a good 10 out of 10 because, the skin is already so raw and you're already so tired. So it was pretty painful. And so that was my first tattoo. My second tattoo that I got was in spring of 2016. And I say spring because I honestly don't remember what month I got it in. I know I got it in the spring because that same year I went on a trip to Jamaica in the summer and my tattoo was completely healed by then. So this is a compass that is on the top part of my spine, right below the bottom part of my neck. And I'm going to show you a clip of that one. So again, I do not remember my artist's name, but I do remember the name of the parlor. It's Above All Tattoo, and that is also in Ocean Beach. This tattoo, of course, is on my spine. So again, it was pretty painful. It was a good, I'd say, sorry for the glare. I use natural light. So I would say this was a good 8.5 out of 10 for pretty much most of the tattoo, and then again a good 10 out of 10 for the last 45 minutes to an hour, mainly because of all of the dot work that you can see that's inside the circle of the compass, and he had to keep resting his hand on my skin in order to do it, and that really hurt. I would say this tattoo cost me around $500. It took probably about 3.5 to 4 hours. So again, not too bad, and a pretty good price considering this tattoo is completely finished. Third tattoo is on my, I always have to hold up my hands to realize which is my left and which is my right because I don't know my right from my left, is on my left thigh, on the top part of my thigh, and it is a Beauty and the Beast tattoo. And I'm going to show you a clip here. So as you can see, it's pretty basic. It is the magic mirror. It has Belle sort of off to one side with a rose in her hand, and then behind her you see the profile of the beast. Down at the bottom, of course, there's a little cameo pin, and it is inspired by the portrait of the prince that gets torn to shreds, except now it's whole. And then on either side, I wanted two symbolic purposes of Beauty and the Beast. I wanted a book for Belle, and then I wanted a teacup. I toyed for a while with getting Chip, from the actual cartoon Disney movie, but I wasn't really feeling having a cartoony kind of tattoo, so I just had a chipped teacup. This tattoo was nowhere near as painful as any of the tattoos I had gotten previously. It was on the top part of my thigh. It's basically a very pain-free area. I would say for the most part this was between a 3 and 4 out of 10, maybe going up as high as a 6 out of 10 once we reached that last 30-minute stretch of just going over places that he had already done to make sure that everything was shaded. And I love this tattoo. It's probably one of my favorites. Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite Disney movies. The cartoon version, the Angela Lansbury, Mrs. Potts classic. I was not a fan of the live action. I love the classic, and she is my favorite princess because she reads and she's independent, and I love her. And then the Beauty and the Beast tattoo I got September 16th of 2017. And this was at Allegory Tattoo on El Cajon Boulevard here in San Diego, and my artist's name is Pete Walker. Now, my fourth tattoo is on the inner part of my arm here, and I'll just show you. I'm also going to show a clip so you can see it close up. If you are a fan of the TV show City of Bones or the Mortal Instruments books, you'll know what this is. In the books and in the show, they cover themselves in runes, and when they want to use what the rune stands for, they kind of activate it with their style, and then this sort of comes to life. And this is the rune for fearlessness, and this is on my inner arm. I got this at a place called Senzala Tattoo in Puerto Rico. I do not remember my artist's name, mainly because he only spoke Spanish. I do not speak Spanish. I was able to speak with the receptionist about what I wanted, and then she communicated that to him. So I'd say this was about $80. It was the parlor minimum. I've heard that this part of the arm is really painful. For me, it was maybe like a 5 out of 10. To be fair, it's a very simple design. There's no real shading, it's just colored in. So possibly if you get something more elaborate, maybe that hurts a lot more. And this only took about an hour and a half. I really like it. I got it to symbolize my trip to Puerto Rico. I was there for 6 weeks with a volunteer foundation called All Hands and Hearts that goes to places that have just experienced some kind of natural disaster, and they do cleanup, they do sanitation, and then they rebuild. I was part of the rebuilding crew, so I was doing roofs for the houses in Puerto Rico. And I got this mainly because going on that trip was so far out of my comfort zone, it's ridiculous. I was using power tools, I was using chainsaws, I was up on top of roofs, I was harnessed, I was hanging off of roofs. And if you know me, you know that that is not at all me. I am clumsy, I am not a physical laborer. I never thought I should ever be allowed anywhere near a power tool, but I did it, and I loved it, and I got this tattoo. Honestly, I may get it covered up at some point if I ever think of getting a full sleeve, but I would get it moved. So I would get the same exact tattoo, maybe a little smaller, and I would get it somewhere else on my body, like my ankle or my leg, because I still want the tattoo and I still want it to symbolize everything that it symbolizes. I just might move it at some point, but that some point hasn't come yet, and I'm really happy with where it is. So that is all of my tattoos. This is part of a 3-part series. The second video in my series is going to be the tattoos and piercings that I plan to get in the year 2019. So this was the first part. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up in the description box down below. And then also go ahead and feel free to subscribe if you would like to see more of my videos. Okay, bye.